Hi guys, welcome back to Rithik Explains. In our last video we talked about the circadian rhythm and how it works, but today we're going to dive into something important about the circadian rhythm, its effects on teenagers. Please like, subscribe, and comment on this video if you need any help, and I'll gladly respond. So let's get started. Let's talk about how the circadian rhythm affects especially teenagers. Now, have you ever been so sleepy in the morning? I can definitely relate to that statement. My dad or my grandparents will wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning fresh, while I'll just be so sleepy only at 9 a.m. Why does this happen to only adolescents? Well, the reason because of this is because teens' biological clocks have a delay in their melatonin. This is known as the melatonin shift. Teens only wait to release their melatonin and other hormones at 11 p.m., which you can see on the graph. This is 2 hours later than when adults and children wait to release their melatonin. This means that waking up a teen at 6 a.m. is like waking up an adult or a child at 4 a.m. Because of this melatonin delay, teens get sleep deprived. Only 1 in 10 American teenagers actually get the recommended amount of 8 hours of sleep every night. And remember, 8 hours is the minimum recommendation. We're barely scratching it. Ultimately, sleep deprivation has many side effects. Sleep deprivation can cause mood swings, depression, lack of motivation, and more stress. Because of this, many teens resort to drinking high amounts of caffeine or energy drinks, which is obviously not a good idea. Teens also resort to drinking alcohol, where in one study it was found that teens with sleep problems were 55% more likely to drink liquor. Also, high school is when a teen gets a newly minted driver's license. Not only does it increase the chance of getting into an accident, but the studies also show that putting a teen who has had 5 hours of sleep or less on the wheel is the equivalent of driving with a blood alcohol content above what is legal. So obviously, there are many problems that can arise when teens get bad sleep. So as people in our community, we have to strive to do two things. First, we must get our school start times to be later. Having later school start times that start no earlier than 8:30 a.m. would be very beneficial and can help reduce the risks that sleep deprivation brings to teens. The program Start Schools Later in Massachusetts decided to actually start this by having their schools start at 8:30 or later. This resulted in those schools having improved grades, fewer suspensions, and reduced delays. They also followed Minneapolis Public Schools and found that later school start times provided 1 more hour of sleep per night, improved behavior, lower rates of depression, and many more good health effects. Many health organizations, for example the American Academy of Pediatrics, recommend that schools start at 8:30 a.m. or later. However, only 7% of high schools and 17% of middle schools in the US actually follow this advice. The second thing we must strive for is to get rid of daylight savings. Now, daylight savings may seem beneficial at first, but this small shift causes us to wake up in the morning when it's still dark out and keep us awake later due to the bright light. Along with this, it makes us more susceptible to health risks and messes up our schedule. So why aren't we getting rid of it already? So, having later school start times for schools and abolishing daylight savings times can make sure that our circadian rhythms are functioning properly. So, today we have learned how the circadian rhythm really negatively can, and these changes negatively affects these teens and affects their health. So, as people in our nation, we have to make sure that we strive to do these improvements like having later school start times and implementing no daylight savings. Once we can do this, we can make sure that we can dance with the rhythm so that we can be better and healthier humans. Thank you all for watching this video, and I hope that you guys have many questions so that I can answer them. Thank you.